Hello, welcome to the Zen Interviews podcast. I'm here with Nadia, one of the Zen Art Center community members, and today she's going to be asking me questions about different things on her mind. Also, if you have any questions for future episodes, leave them in the comments and we'll try to get to them in future episodes. I really appreciate that. And with that said, we'll turn it over to Nadia. I think she has a few questions maybe regarding
New Year.
New Year.
Yeah. New Year is coming. New Year is coming. It's such an exciting period for me because between all the holidays and my birthday and January 1st, it's such a...
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's a great time to just reflect on the past year and then set the stage for the coming year. So New Year's resolutions have been always like something I deeply care about. That's the topic that I want to talk with you about, and starting with a question about intention, the power of intention, and how I guess if Zen or Zen Buddhism is talking about, is addressing the concepts of intention and the power of intention. Maybe we should start with the definition of what intention means.
Yeah, I think that would help. If it would help me answer your question, because that's not a term we really use much in Zen practice.
So the way I would define intention is a combination of imagination and really strong emotion that sets something in your mind. And some people say that it's also putting something in the universe. But how I see it is like it's an intention is imagination combined with stronger emotions that make something in your brain and mind click, and then things happen at a subconscious level that will make these intentions come to manifest or come to fruition at some point during the year.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I will say, first off, right off the bat, that's not something I ever would, the way I would teach something in the Zen way. I know that's a very popular way of viewing things, and I understand the motivations behind it, and I think it could be effective in attaining goals, but it's not the way I would typically teach maybe the same idea in Zen. I'm going to respond to everything you said in the beginning here and see if it resonates with you. If you want to ask some follow-up questions, that's fine. But I'd prefer to put things in my terms.
Yes.
Because it fits in with it's very consistent with the way I teach everything. Because generally in Zen, I'm telling you not to overthink things, to let go of all of your thoughts and clear out your mind. So we'll come back to that part of what I'm saying. First of all, I'm going to talk about this with a metaphor. So when you first started off, you said reflecting about the past year and setting intentions for the next year. And I can agree with that premise, and this is how I'm going to frame it for you. One of the things we do when we reflect on the past and things, we see how things happened. We can see the history of how things happened. And one thing you can learn about reflecting from the past is if you find seeds, you can find out which kind of seed grows into which kind of plant, what kind of flower it makes, what kind of fruit it produces. So looking at the past, in order to know what you're going to get out of your seeds, you have to understand what those seeds grew into. So there are things to be learned from what we call the past. As far as setting intentions for the new year, this is where this metaphor is going to go. Your intentions are like seeds. What do you want? Those are seeds, and I the way I would teach you in Zen is take those seeds and plant them in your mind. So in the beginning of the year, decide what seeds you want. Some seeds will grow right away. Some take a long time to grow. Plant them all. And then clear out your mind, because those seeds need room to grow. But instead of focusing on emotions and imaginations, just plant the seeds and then clear out all of your thinking. And that will allow the light of your mind to shine on those seeds. And that is what's going to allow them to grow and give them the space they need to grow. And as you're doing that, every day, remind yourself of those seeds. Every day, clear out your mind. And then if you do that in the beginning of the day, that's like the main seeds that are going to be planted in your mind every day. And if there's something you want, when you're doing that every single day, when you see the path to get to attaining that, your mind is going to be clear and you're going to be thinking about it and you're going to say, oh, that's the path I need to take to get to that goal I'm trying to take. Then when you see that and you achieve that, that's your seed flowering. And when it produces more harmony in your life, that's the fruit of your seed. So that's how I teach how to approach the past and the future. And I think the New Year's is a good time to reflect on that and to set those and to plant those seeds.
So then the New Year resolutions are picking up which seeds you want to plant based on what seeds you have planted in the past and what came out of that. But you can also decide to pick like new seeds and see where this is going to go. And instead of like with imagination and emotion, try to force it to happen. Just clearing the mind and letting things follow their course.
Yeah, because your mind will direct you when it's clear, it will direct you in the right direction towards accomplishing that. If you're overthinking it and trying to force it, so often you'll do things which cause you setbacks in your own process.
I like this approach better, where it feels like it's the path of least resistance, in the sense that there isn't extra resistance being created to the flow of life, but more of just planting the seeds, and then the only job then is just to clear the mind and letting things take their own.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just give you a more solid example. To attaining things, there's work. You know, if you want to have a garden, you need to put in the work, tilling the soil, watering the plants, weeding the garden. There's work to be done too. So let's just take a really common New Year's resolution. I want to get into shape this year. Okay. So
it must be like the number one on people's list.
Right. So let's just take something like that. Most people don't accomplish their goal for whatever reason, right? So perhaps this will help. Say your New Year's resolution, yell it out on New Year's Eve, plant that seed in your mind. So don't drink too much either, because then you won't remember remember it the next day.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you wake up the next day, plant that seed again. Then try meditating 1 minute. Do you know how you're going to get in shape yet?
At that point,
I don't know. Maybe you want to go to the gym. Maybe you think you need to lift weights. Maybe but okay, go for it. Try it. Meditate. Next day, get up, go to the gym. Next day, do the same thing. Meditate, get up, go to the gym. Eventually, if you stay on that path, you're going to be in shape. You're going to attain being in shape, your New Year's resolution. if you get sore one day and you don't want to go to the gym, okay. Still, wake up, meditate. You can take a day off from the gym. But if your mind is clear, you might realize, well, maybe it's good to go for a walk. Maybe that is a good way to stay towards my goals, and I don't need to be attached to going to the gym. I just will go for a walk. And then the next day you wake up, you meditate again, and your body still feels sore. So maybe you go for a bike ride. My point is that if you set your intention, if you're attached to going to the gym or doing these things, the clear mind will direct you towards the right way to stay on your path, and it will give you the flexibility to adjust. So that's why I think that is actually one of the most critical parts. Even though you don't think about your mind as far as getting in shape, keeping your mind clear will allow you to see the path to stay on your path to getting in shape. And maybe you don't need to be attached to going to the gym. Maybe you get a bad injury with your ankle, and maybe if your mind isn't clear, maybe you're thinking, oh, I can't work out for the next month because my ankle is sprained. But if your mind is clear, you might say, oh, maybe I should try swimming or something else that doesn't require my ankle. So those kind of things will help you adapt to the real situation in the moment, which will keep you on your path. And I think the clear mind is the most critical element to attaining all of your goals, all of your dreams.
So would you say then that it makes more sense when taking New Year's resolutions to take them as not as like a why more than a how, or a why and a what more than a how? Like instead of saying, my New Year's resolution is to go to the gym 5 times a week, to say my New Year resolution is to get in shape. Because then that gives like more flexibility once your mind is clear to figure out which path, because a lot of the paths are going to take you to that goal, right? Or,
Yeah, well, I'm not going to tell anybody what their seeds should be. But I think if you have a clear mind, you'll even pick better seeds to plant. And so that's why I'm stressing, maybe have clearing your mind for a minute every day. Put that on your list of New Year's resolutions. And I think that will help you ask better questions and get better results. And plant better seeds, and whether it's a how or a why, and it will allow you to adapt to whatever's going on. I mean, if your goal is just to go to the gym 5 times and it has nothing to do with getting in shape, then that can be your goal. Is that the way to get in shape? I don't know. You can just go to the gym and take a shower and go home. That's not going to get you into shape. But if your goal is just to go to the gym, go to the gym. I'm just saying, I'm being a little facetious here, but if your goal is to get in shape, have that be your goal. Don't attach it to this way or that way or this way. Your mind might reveal a better path for you to attaining that goal if you give it the flexibility without overthinking things. Some of the most inspirational things and breakthroughs in science, they come from not thinking too hard, but from thinking and then letting go. And then that's when you experience these types of like eureka moments. Oh, that's how I get to the goal. You think and think and think, and you reach a dead end, and then you're like, oh, I need to take a break and go for drink some tea. And then when you're sipping on the tea, you're like, aha, I know how to fix that now, or how to solve that problem or overcome that challenge. So I think it's important to learn, we overemphasize, I think, sometimes thinking about things, and underemphasize giving things just room to grow without thinking. And I think if you look at the biggest scientific breakthroughs, you'll find many, many stories where these types of things happen.
So I see the point of emphasizing these moments of rest and silence and stillness to, to get to the goal. And then, so what would you say is the most important thing to learn about yourself? Like, what are the most important things to learn about yourself? And what are the most important things to learn about others? instead of just action, or balancing it?
Yeah, I
Or
think
not
it's a
pushing too
balance. I think it's always about balance, and that's why I'm emphasizing the clear mind aspect, because that allows you to understand the correct balance for yourself. No one is going to give you a prescriptive thing for you that is perfect for you. You
Okay.
have your best way is to understand what your body needs, what your mind needs, when it needs rest, when it's best to take action. No one else can walk in your shoes. You're the only one who understands that. And so your mind being clear is what's going to help you navigate your life in the best way possible.
Okay, so I kind of know your answer, but I'm still going to ask the question. So, for people who are lacking imagination or wants to have some of your favorite seeds for the new year, so what can you say about seeds to plant for inspiration?
Okay, yeah. I generally, it's hard for me to tell people, where to set their own goals. But I think it's important to understand how to set your goals. And so I think one of the most important things you can do is learn how to listen to your own intuition and let that guide you. But if you're thinking a lot, if you're on social media, there's a lot of weeds that start to grow in your mind that are seeds that are planted by other people telling you, like, this is the best way to get rich. This is the best way to find the love of your life. This is the way to, attain spiritual harmony. You name it. There's advice for it online, but that's someone else telling you what to do. What I suggest is the best way to find out what you should do and to find your path is to learn how to listen to your intuition. And if you have too much thinking going on, that's going to cloud your intuition. The thinking is not necessarily your intuition. The intuition is the voice of your heart. And how do you listen to that? Once again, I'm going to say, try to clear your mind. So the best way that I'm able to do this is I use a few different techniques. I try to do some form of sitting meditation, using a mantra, counting your breaths, something like that to help clear your mind. I have a few videos about that
Maybe
on
we
the
can link
playlist
them.
on my YouTube channel on how to do these techniques if you're interested. So check those out if you want. But I would say start with one of those and see if you can meditate 1 minute every single day. Try to do it every single day of the next year. If you can do that, I can promise you it's going to change the way your mind works, and it may very well change your life. You can always expand on that to be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But even if your life is hectic, try to give yourself at least a minute to meditate, just so that you have that routine. And that's going to every day give you an opportunity to clear out your mind. So I think that is super important. And when your mind is clear, that is when you can hear the voice of your heart. That's when you hear your intuition. That's when all of the thinking's gone. The only voice that's left is your intuition, and that will guide you towards the direction that is best for you. Second way you can do this is doing some sort of exercise. Try to do it every day. If it doesn't have to be the same exercise, but try to do something a little bit every day, even if it's just going for a walk. On the days you can do a more rigorous exercise, do something like that. Ride a bike, do some yoga. Try and do 30 minutes a day. And, if you need to skip a day, that's okay, but keep trying to keep that into your routine and try and stay consistent with it. I think the consistency is the most important thing. And those types of activities, if you are learning to completely focus on what you're doing, that becomes a form of moving meditation. That will also help you clear your mind. So you're learning how to clear your mind while you're sitting in a resting kind of state, and you're learning how to clear your mind in an active state. If you're not really into, I think exercise is a great way to do it. Another way you can do a moving meditation is through an art form. If it's something you enjoy, it's much easier. If you like drawing, do some drawing. Try to do a little bit every day. If you like writing, do some writing. If you like playing music, you can play some music. Some sort of art form or any kind of activity that you're passionate about that you can really focus your mind on, and use that focus to stop your mind from wandering to other parts of your life, wondering about the past, wondering about the future, wondering about what all your friends are doing. Just focus on whatever you're doing in that moment, whether it's sitting meditation, exercise, or an art form, or, it could even be the tasks you're doing at your job. Just try to treat those like a meditation. And then also, once you get good at that, try and learn how to apply that to even the most mundane and normal activities you're doing throughout the day, like eating or doing your dishes or cleaning your room. And as you start to build that practice, you'll start to clear your mind all of the time. And then you will be able to listen to your intuition all of the time, and then that will tell you the right seeds to plant in your mind. And that will give you the best opportunity to find your own personal path to finding harmony in the world.
Thank you. I don't have any other question about New Year's resolution, but do you have any final words of wisdom as we approach the end of the year and the beginning of the next year?
Well, I think my best advice would be, honestly, what I just said to everyone. I hope, even if you can only do part of it, even if you miss days, really don't get discouraged. Be patient with yourself. If you miss a day of meditation, just pick it up the next day. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't be too attached to the fact that you have to do it every day if you miss a day, but get back to it the next day. Don't spend any time being disappointed that you didn't fulfill your goal. Just start the next day and start over again. And anything that's really great that you try to do, even if you're trying to get enlightenment, you're going to fail more than you succeed. You're not going to get it every day. It usually takes time to figure out the correct path. So whether it's getting in shape at the gym, or getting better at developing a new skill of some sort, or if it's getting enlightenment, don't be too hard on yourself if you fail. Be compassionate to yourself in those moments, and just get really good at picking yourself up. That's the best way to accomplishing goals, to getting good at accomplishing goals, is to learn how to pick yourself up and continue, and to consistently remain on the path into the direction you're trying to go. And the other piece of supplemental advice to what I just said, and that's more of a mindset.
Commitment and resilience.
Yeah. So I hope this is helpful to some people out there. A lot of it is stuff that my teacher taught me, and it really did change my life. And that's why I'm trying to help people understand this, so that they can change their own life and put themselves on a path that they want to be on, and finding what the best path for yourself is. I think a lot of people I talk to are struggling with that. And if you don't know, just try to clear your mind and try to do some of these things. And I think eventually you'll understand what you're supposed to do without anybody else telling you. And one last thing I would like to say is to everybody out there who is really sincerely trying to change their life and put themselves on a different path, I wish you good fortune and good luck in your journey. Stick with it. And I wish you all 10,000 ways of good luck and 10,000 blessings in the new year.
Thank you.
Thank you.